Welcome to the Mum Style Business Podcast.
Hello, hey. Welcome back to the podcast. So today, what we're going to talk about is how to deal with a messy back of house. So if you've been in business for a little while, us creatives can get a little bit all over the place, right? We like the shiny new objects. We like trying new things. We're changing up messaging, all of that kind of stuff. And it means that our CRMs or the back ends of our businesses can look like a bit of a dog's breakfast. So today, let's talk about some steps that you can take to clean this up and to feel more organized and efficient in the back end running of your business. Know exactly what you have, get rid of or archive things that you're not utilizing, that you don't want to move forward with. So the start of the year can be a really great time to look at this. So that's why we're talking about it now. So let's dive in. Now, I love a free tool called whimsical.com. And that is spelt how whimsical is spelt, WHIMSICAL.com. Forgot how to spell for a second. And so what Whimsical does is it allows you to mind map. It's a free mind map software that is super easy to use. It's quick, it's not laggy, you can change your mind and move lines around. It's pretty user-friendly and you don't need a heap of training or any training to begin using it. You can share things with other people. We use it a lot, and it's really great to get that bird's eye view on your business. So I really encourage you to go to whimsical.com, set up an account, and begin either two options, right? Either mapping out what you currently have. So look through the back end of your website, look through your CRM, your email system, whatever it is that you're using for your funnels, for your lead magnets, all of that. See what you have and map that out, or really rethink the whole thing and think, what am I going to build? How is my business going to look from now on? So then you can discard anything else. What I love doing here is thinking about, first of all, is how are people going to become aware of me? So for me, that's this podcast. It's the podcast interviews that I guest on, the podcast I guest on. It's speaking, it's ads. So that's all at the top, on the kind of the top row. From there, I think, what are they doing? What am I inviting them to? How are people then coming and taking that next step to get to know and connect with me more? And for me, again, that is, we've got the free Facebook group. We also have a 7 systems PDF guide. We have a masterclass. There's a few different things that people might opt in for. So all of those are in that next kind of row, and there's arrows from that top level to the relevant things. So for example, the ads are not going to go to the Facebook group. Ads are going to link straight to either the masterclass or the PDF, the 7 systems guide. So if you want either of those things, the link is in my bio. You can see them there and you can get them yourself. So again, because I've mentioned that, right, on mine, I'm going to have the podcast at the top and it's going to have an arrow to both of those things. So you can see how this works. From there, you want to know what's that next step? Are they getting an email sequence, like a 6 email welcome sequence to get to know you and get to know a little bit about what you do and how you work with people? That might be the next step. From there, when are you bringing sales into it, right? Because this is all well and good to give people free things and to be out there and creating content. That's amazing. But you're not running a hobby, you are running a business. And so there comes a point where you are going to make an offer, right? For the people that are hanging around and consuming your content, you are going to give them an offer. That is why you run business. And so where is that coming in? And you can really map that out on Whimsical. Once you have that bird's eye view with your business on one whole screen, then you can see what is superfluous. What do you not need? Where are you making things too complicated? Where are things 6 steps when it could just be 1? What if you have 10 things you're talking about? Does it have to be 10? The answer is no. It's going to be easier on you and less confusing for your clients if you have like 3 things that you are pointing them to at any one time, right? Probably less. If you are not sure, start with 1. If you must have more than 1, have up to 3. That's it. That's it. So map out your business on Whimsical. Get really clear on the type of business that you want to run and what that looks like, what pieces that you need. Because remember, if we're cleaning up back of house, anything not related to that final version of that needs to go. You don't need it. It's not serving you. It's just that baggage hanging around. You're carrying around that backpack of bricks for no reason. It's time for some pruning. All right. From there, I want you to clear out your Google Drive, your G Drive or your Dropbox or your whatever it is that you store all of those copies of things, all the photos, all of the email sequences, the drafts. Where are you keeping those files? And I want you to archive out anything that is not related to the new version of your business, what you've mapped out on Whimsical, right? And if you have another tool that's not Whimsical, fine, use it. If you want to use pen and paper, great, use it. But then make your G Drive, your whatever it is, make that match what that is. So have anything easily accessible, filed correctly, take the time. I know this is annoying, especially if you have a team and there's multiple people in there. The G Drive can get really messy really fast. So like block out a good chunk of time to do this. It's one of those things that is not fun to do, but it is going to make you feel so much lighter. It is going to make you feel so much more focused. It is going to save you time and it's going to save you money if you have a team, knowing exactly where everything is. So that is step number 2, clear out your filing system. Step number 3, you know what's going to be clearing out your inbox. Yes, yes. If your back end of your business is feeling like a mess, obviously your inbox is going to be something that you're in at least once a day, most of us more than once a day. So having that to be a mess, going into that and looking at that messy space, that full, that full space, if that isn't organized, that is going to clutter your mind and keep you distracted. It is not going to make you feel calm and in control and excited. So get to that inbox again, set aside a couple of hours, put the correct labels on everything, get rid of everything you don't need. If you are subscribing to different things, consider having a totally separate inbox for that, because then when you want to go and dive in, for me, I'm a marketer. I want to keep on the pulse of what great marketers are doing. And so I subscribe to a lot of different newsletters, because then when I need inspiration, I can go in there, I can see what other people are doing, but it's not something I'm in all the time. It's something I'm in maybe once a month, maybe once every 3 months. Whenever I'm coming back to strategy work, I'm having a look, a bit of a scan in there. So that is not going to be in my normal inbox. That is going to be in a totally separate inbox just for that reason. So clear out the inbox. I know it's not fun. And then put a system in place, if you don't have one already, where every day those emails are getting replied to and kind of gotten rid of. So what I do is I make my inbox only my unread emails, and then I star everything I need to do that isn't for that day. So I reply to everything and I star everything that is related to something I need to do. And then I go to my starred inbox when I have a time block for client work or for whatever it is, right? That's how I run it. Figure out a system that works for you. From there, create an organizational chart. That is step, what are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 was whimsical. 2 is clear out your G Drive. Step 3 is clear out your inbox. We're up to step 4, create an organizational chart. So you may need 2 organizational charts. The reason is Your org chart right now may not be what it is going to be, say, at the end of the year, or say what your goal is in 3 years. So I would really encourage you to make a short-term org chart and a long-term org chart. The reason is that you want to know exactly where every task lies, right? You need to have a place for each one. By getting really clear on who does what, then that is going to really help to organize that back of house, because then it's really obvious, right? It's really obvious when something comes in, then you know who's doing it. Either then that you then know who is responsible to maintain the organization of that area too. So even if it's just you and a VA, still delegate it, right? Who is responsible for the naming conventions of things? Who is responsible for filing things away properly? Who is responsible for sending things to clients, to onboarding, creating things for onboarding, to archive things when people are offboarding? All of those little things left out as like cut ties creates a mess. So by mapping out every task that needs to happen in the business and putting a person responsible for each one, that is going to really help you. What you can then do is think, okay, so I'm growing my business to X amount. I'm going to need for that, I'm going to need X amount of people. And then these are going to be their roles. And with that version, you do not have to be as nitty gritty, because that's going to change anyway, right? As you grow, actually, the tasks are likely to change and the processes for things are likely to change. So you're not going to be able to map out that nitty gritty detail for the higher level business. But it can be really great knowing where you are going, to have that conversation with team now about, okay, you're going to move into this role. How does that feel? And getting their input on where that is. And then you know where you're going, right? You're basing all of your actions then against that future org chart. If that org chart represents your dream business, well, then every decision that you make must be in line with walking towards that. And so if you are doing things that you know are not going to be in that end game, then how do you move towards that? How do you begin like trying now to get those things off your plate? All right. So number 5 is to do our 90-day plan. Now, your 90-day plan is something that I recommend that you do all the time, regardless of if you're overhauling things or not. If we stick to a 90-day plan, we are going to see really great traction in our business, and we can tie that to the financial quarters or not. It doesn't really matter. But what matters is that you don't shift strategies and tactics every 2 weeks because it's not working or you fall out of love with it or whatever else. What is important in this is that you don't try and bite off too much, and you don't let the time go without moving towards your goals. So what I really recommend that you do here is make 1 to 3 goals for that quarter, that goals that you want to achieve in that 90-day period. Now, this might be things like, increase your podcast listenership, it might be write a book, it might be get 3 more clients, it might be launch a course. Pick your 3 goals, and then under each one, you are going to have projects in order to achieve that. So for example, if you want to maybe build your email list, then how are you going to do that, right? You're going to have projects. One will be, you're going to need a lead magnet. And so creating that lead magnet is going to be a project. Creating the emails that are going to accompany that is going to be a project. Creating the marketing and the content around that is going to be a project. And so then you map all of that out, you reverse engineer it, and then you put dates under each one. So first, you're going to need the lead magnet. And so that might be weeks 1 to 3 out of the 12-week period, maybe 13. I think it's 13 weeks. Then you're going to need, again, maybe you build the website next. That might be weeks 4 and 5. So this way, you know exactly what you should be doing in any given week, and you will have a time block on your calendar to work on those projects. If you don't, it is just going to get taken with client work, with busy work, with scrolling, with, the day-to-day stuff. You're not going to be moving forward and making progress towards those goals. So that is how we clean up the back of house in our business. So let's run through it again. This is a step-by-step process that I really encourage you to do. So step one is map it out, get that bird's eye view of what you want your business to actually look like. I love the free tool Whimsical. It's super easy to use. It's a mind mapping tool. And because I'm really visual, I like to see everything from the top. You can color code. You can really map out everything, the buyer journey here from start to finish. Step number two, clear out your Google Drive or your Dropbox, whatever you use, clean it up, make sure anything that's not related to that new map of your business is archived away, that it's not cluttering up space. The same with your inbox, which is number three. Clear out your inbox. That is not something that you want to be a mess, because that is what you are in all the time. So it's like having, a messy lounge room. Every time you go in there, you're going to feel really stressed if it is a dog's breakfast, right? You don't want that. So that is number three. Number four is create an organizational chart. Create an org chart. So for now, you are going to put everyone who is on your team on that now and put the tasks for each person on there. You are also going to create an org chart that is the dream business model that you are working towards. That way you can create your 90-day plan, which is number five, that is going to be in line with getting you towards that. It's a really great way to have that North Star of what you want to be working towards as a CEO. And then all of your business practices, everything, every decision that you make should be in line with bringing that org chart to life. Have fun with that. It is a big task, but if you want to go into this new year, if you have big goals that you are kicking this year, you cannot go into that with a messy back of house. You are going to feel overwhelmed as soon as the cogs start turning. And it's likely that you're going to hold yourself back from marketing, because if your capacity is already full, if you have so much mental clutter from feeling unorganized, you're actually not going to then show up in the way that you would show up, in the way that really presents everything that you know that you can be, because you're going to know that actually the thing that you are bringing people into is messy and cluttered and unorganized. So I have been there. This is not a shame game. Do not allow yourself to get stuck in a place of, how did I let this happen? And I don't know how to be a business owner and all of that. That is not helpful. You can do this. It's about simplifying. Okay, so if you go over to Instagram and you click on the link in bio, then you will see that I have the PDF guide about 7 systems. So this 7-system guide is going to help you to streamline. It is going to help you make sure that you are doing everything in your business that you need to be doing in order to build a smart, sustainable, scalable business. So if you don't know where to start, go there. Right? It's annalisewarren.com/7 systems if you don't want to go to Instagram. But while you're on Instagram, come say hi to me. It's my happy place on the internet. So come and say hi. But once you get this sorted, right? Once you simplify, you have your whimsical plan, you can see your business. It is so easy then to see what doesn't fit. And you can just archive. You don't have to delete it, just move it to the side. You don't need that right now. You have the vision of what you are building. And then everything, or your content, your projects, and everything from your 90-day plan are going to be in alignment with that. I'm so excited for you to move into this next version of your business, one where you can truly step into your role as CEO and bring that vision of your dream business and life to life. So let me know how you're going. Let me know where you're at in the process, because I know it can feel really heavy, but you are going to feel so good once this is cleaned up and all done. So enjoy it. You're going to feel good after. We got you. Talk to you soon.